Hey, my beautiful soul followers, how is everyone doing this morning? So today's topic kind of came out of left field a little bit the other day. So bear with me as I explain the randomness of this topic, but I actually feel like it's really important that we discuss it. So I was in the grocery store the other day, and yes, my live streams, my topics kind of come from a little bit of everywhere sometimes. And this one came from the grocery store. So I was grocery shopping for myself, and I was reaching in to get something from one of the cold aisles. And I was reaching in, and this woman looks at me as like, "Can I move your cart?" And before she even, I had the chance to respond, she like pushes my cart. And I was like, I literally did turn around. I was like, it's a little bit like aggressive, like, you just came up, you weren't waiting, but can I move your cart? And she pushes my cart. And then she kind of like skated in front of me and was just rude, okay? Like sometimes people are just rude. And so she was just being rude and then turns around and like bumps right into me. And my immediate response was, "Ma'am, I just want you to know that asking is not consent." And it popped out of my mouth, and there really wasn't much like thought behind it outside of, this woman is being really rude right now. She's pushing her way through, and even though she asked to move my cart, there was no hold of waiting for a response. It was, "Can I move your cart? But I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna do what I want anyway, but I'm gonna ask you." And so as I was going through the rest of my grocery shopping and then driving home, I was processing this, because this phrasing of asking is not consent popped out of my mouth, and I'm like, where did that come from? Where did that kind of come from? Because again, I wasn't really thinking into it too much. But as I thought about it and really processed it, I feel like this is an issue we see in all our relationships. The fact is, how often do you ask someone something, but you already have the intent to go ahead and do it anyway, but you're asking to just be nice? Inquiry is an amazing thing in relationship, and asking someone's permission is essential to healthy relationship. Now, I don't want to equate this to rape culture, but the fact is, asking somebody to have sex with them and actually having sex with them is two different things. Like allowing, like that person going, yes, like, yeah, I do want to engage, I do want to have sex with you, is different than you just taking what you want. If that situation got brought to court, guess what? Asking is not consent. Saying, "Hey, no, but I asked, but I did it anyway," you're going to get in trouble. You're going to become a rapist in the law, in the legal element. However, we do this all the time in our relationships. We ask, we inquire, but we have other motives behind our asking. And this goes beyond just like asking someone and then doing it anyway. This also comes into a space of manipulation. A lot of times we inquire with somebody or gain permission, but we have this desire to do it anyway, or do it our way, or to just do it to be nice, but we have already kind of established what we're going to do. And in truth, then you need to look at why you're asking. And that's really what this video is about today. It's, why do we ask? Are you inquiring? Are you asking someone's permission because you truly want it? Because you're truly like, I'm going to ask you this question, and there's no ulterior motive. I'm not asking it because I already have a plan back here. I'm not asking it to kind of paint you into a corner. I'm not asking it with the intent of just doing it anyway because, I'm going to do me, which we live in that society of like, you do you, or I don't go, no fucks given, I'm going to do it anyway. Well, this can actually lead to silly experience in the grocery store where, guess what? Asking is not consent. And if you're going to do it anyway, what's the fucking point of asking? What is the point of asking? And yet, that is a society we're living in right now. And I'm seeing it really break down relationships because, okay, my couples in my practice, or even even my singles, and they're like, yeah, I asked her if, she wanted to go to Chinese, but we're going to go there anyway. That's where I wanted to go. And I know it's a silly food example, but we were going to go there anyway. I'm like, well, what's the point of asking her if you already knew what you're going to do? If you already have an intent, then what's the point of asking? And then you need to look at the manipulation that is ingrained in that. Because when we ask in order to just get somebody to do what we want, that is then manipulation. It's not a true asking. And so, quick video today, but I really want you to look at, why do you ask? Why do you inquire with people? Do you inquire with people because you truly want to know? Do you inquire with people to truly get their permission and have this mutual respect between you and another human? Because we all want that mutual respect. Or have you already kind of went and done it and you're asking forgiveness, not really permission? Because I know there's a lot of that happens out in the world where it's like, well, I did it and I'm going to ask permission even though in truth I should be asking forgiveness. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, because it's not a microcosm of just like, okay, well, this woman in the grocery store who said, can I move your cart, and then pushes out of the way immediately. This is really permeating our culture where we're asking, but we're not truly asking. And that comes from a space of not actually connecting with another human being. That comes from a place of self-centeredness. Selfishness is one thing. Self-centeredness of, I don't give a fuck about anybody around me. I actually think the no fucks given culture is incredibly unhealthy. I think I think it's incredibly unhealthy, and I can look at my feed. I actually have stopped looking at a lot of my feeds because it's all over the place. And this is what ends up happening. We don't care about our fellow man, and we go about what we're going to do no matter what they say. And then we end up hurting relationships we really do care about. Because I might not care about that lady in the grocery store, in that relationship, but if my lover somebody interrupted our life. But if my lover goes and goes, you're okay if I do this, right? And doesn't really ask, then I probably will take more offense to it. It probably will hurt me more in the long run. And so it is this question of, why are we asking? Are you asking with the manipulative kind of intent of, and yes, I know that everyone's like, no, I'm not manipulative. Well, if you're asking, but you plan on doing it anyway, that's manipulation. That is, and I hate this word because it's the zeitgeist of our society right now, but that's narcissistic characteristics. That's narcissistic tendencies. And guess what? We all have these tendencies. But if you're asking just to do it anyway, then guess what? You're not truly asking somebody. You are pushing your desires upon somebody else. It is, yes, equivalent to kind of that rape culture of, I asked, so therefore you should be okay with it. If you're doing this, catch yourself. We all are here to grow, okay? I'm not here to beat anybody else up. I've done it too. Like, are you okay if I take this last, I don't know, like food on the plate, like that last egg, and you're already like grabbing it? Well, you need to stop yourself in that moment and go, I asked, but I'm already in the middle of doing it. And so did I really care if that other person wanted the other egg or the last bit of juice? Did I really care? And so it is these little things we need to pay attention to, because when we can pay attention to those within ourselves, we can give our partners, our friends, our family, people in the grocery store more respect by asking and then stopping and hearing their true answer and hearing their true perspective. This is how we build deeper relationships. And that's not to say that you can't still go and do what you desire to do. But if you truly are asking somebody, you need to stop and listen to their response. And then if you're like, but this is the reasons why I want to do it, whatever that situation might be, because this could be a million trillion different situations, then you can have a conversation about it. But you need to look at why you're asking. Because if you're just asking so you can do whatever you freaking want, that's not asking. That's not respecting other humans. It's not building connection. That is simply pushing people to the side, like that woman in the grocery store. And it didn't really bother me. It was just interesting when I was like, asking is not consent. Asking is not consent. And this actually, I know it's a very small thing, but it is where our society is right now, where we're asking but not actually caring about the true consent of other people in our lives. So do some thinking. I'd love to hear your true comments below. I don't want to hear that you're beautiful, you're so sexy. Like, I want some true comments in the below section. Let me know how this impacts your life. Like, do you feel like this happens to you where you get asked but you're not really being asked? And do you do it? Because again, I can even look at myself and go, yeah, there's times I'm already reaching, in the plate and I'm like, hey, nobody wants this, right? And I'm like, all right. And it's like, no, like, why am I asking? Why am I asking? Am I asking to make myself feel better? To go, well, I asked. I'm a good person because I asked. Well, if you're doing it anyway, then that's not truly asking. So I'd love to hear your comments. Thank you all for jumping on. I would love it if you would give it a like, the video a like, a comment, share it. Help me grow my channel a little bit more. And other than that, I will see you beautiful people tomorrow for another Addison Unleashed. If you want to work with me one-on-one, if you want some beautiful somatic energy work, then head over to addisonbell.net. I have some February specials that are going into March. So I have a special that if you book in February, then that special goes all the way into March. So head over to addisonbell.net and check that out, and we can do a consult and get you on your way to the orgasmic life. Yeah, orgasmic life. And that has nothing to do with just sex. That is truly that life that you love waking up to, that feels good, that you are flowing through. So, all right, guys, I will see you tomorrow, and I love you. Stay orgasmic. Bye.